Hello everyone, today I want to explain about AWS networking services. So this is basic networking that we have to understand if we are using AWS Cloud. This video will cover about VPC, subnet, internet gateway, net gateway, route table, and bastion host. So we will do hands-on, and I also will explain what each component does and why we need those services. Okay, the first one is the VPC or Virtual Private Cloud. So VPC is like a house for your EC2 instance, and every EC2 instance need to be created in VPC. So the analogy of VPC is like a house, like I mentioned earlier, and later we will learn about subnet. Subnet is like a level in your house, so your house might have like two levels, the first level and the second level, and later we will also learn about route table. Route table is something like a door or a windows in your house. So we will go through one by one. So the first one will be this VPC, and any EC2 that launch in VPC will get the private IP from the VPC CIDR block, and we need to use a private IP CIDR for our VPC because it is a virtual private cloud, and the list of private IP is these three lists. So I already put here, and you can use the block CIDR block from this private IP. So VPC is a private cloud, and one AWS account can have multiple VPC. Let's say in your company you have multiple department and only use one AWS account, so you might need few VPC. So one VPC, let's say for one department, and those department have their own application. So we need to create our VPC first before we create EC2 instance, and the private IP, by the way, is not a public, so you can have the private IP can be duplicated, so somewhere else in another network they can use the same IP, and this is fine because it's private IP. But for public IP, it is unique globally. Okay, so the first hand-on, what we will do is we will create this VPC. Let's go to our AWS console, and you can search for VPC here, or if you already open or recently just visit the VPC, you can also find here. So let's go to VPC, and by default in AWS account there will be one VPC, and you can see that this default VPC already have private IP CIDR, and you can also see if it is default from this column. The tenancy is default, so default VPC is yes. Okay, if you're want to know like how many IP in this CIDR, you can use this link I will put in the description later, and you can put the IP address and the net mask here and calculate. So this default VPC got 65,000 private IP, and you can see the first IP until the last IP. So basically net mask 16 is can change last two digit in the IPv4. Okay, but we will not using this default VPC. We will create our own VPC, and it is the best practice to create your own VPC if you have application to be launched. And by the way, this default VPC is already connected to internet gateway and is already can connect to public internet. Yeah. So if we go to internet gateway, just show you this VPC is also connected to the default internet gateway. Okay, but we will create all these component, VPC, Internet Gateway, Routable, and so on in this video. Okay, first let's create our VPC. And for the name of the VPC, I will just put name my VPC. The CIDR block, what I'm going to use is 10.11.0.0/16. You can use other CIDR block, it is fine, as long as your CIDR is in the private IP CIDR. So if we check this again in this IP subnet calculator, if we check, so as this is /16 is the same number of IP, 65,534, and then the first IP is this, last IP is this. Okay, we are going to use this. Okay, and the rest I will put it as default and create VPC. Okay, so now our VPC has just been created. By the way, to check the default VPC, you can refer to this column, yeah, not this. So if it is default VPC or not. Okay, our VPC just created. Let's go back to our slide. So next, what we will create is the subnet. So subnet is like a subset of your VPC, and subnet is associated to availability zone. The CIDR of the subnet is a subset of VPC CIDR. So one account, one VPC can cover multiple availability zone. And in AWS itself, AWS got multiple region, for example, like Singapore region, Sydney, Tokyo, and so on. And each region has multiple availability zone. So for example, in Singapore, there are 3 availability zone. Yeah, 1A, 1B, and 1C. So it means that in Singapore itself, at least there are 3 location of data center. And one availability zone actually can have more than 1 data center. So it can be more than 3, but at least they have 3 location of data center in Singapore itself. Okay, the public subnet is the subnet that has route to Internet Gateway. So the subnet can be public, can be also private. The subnet is called as a public subnet if it has a route to the Internet Gateway. Okay, and to assign the public IP, we need to edit the subnet in modify auto assign IP setting. Later we will check this. So we need to enable this so that the instance can get the public IP when it's launched in that subnet. So how about the private subnet? Private subnet is not connected to Internet Gateway, but to get the internet access, we need to go through the NAT gateway. Okay, let's create our subnet, and this is the thing that we will create. We already create the VPC, so we will create a public subnet in 2 different availability zone, and we will also create 2 private subnet. So we make this 2 availability zone to make our application highly available. Okay, let's go back to our AWS account and go to the subnet. By default also we can see there are 3 subnet. This is default subnet, but we will create our own subnet. The VPC is our own VPC that we just created. So first we will create public subnet, public subnet 1, and then the availability zone, we'll just name it public subnet A. We will put in availability zone A, and then the CIDR block. Just now the VPC CIDR is 10.11.00. I will put now 1.0 and then /24. /24 can change one digit behind. So if we check this, okay, I will duplicate this first, and if we check this range and then /24, you can see we can get 254 IP. If you need more, you can increase by changing the net mask. So let's say /20, and if we use /20, let's say we can get 4000 IP. Okay. By the way, the number of IP will be will -5 because those 5 are reserved by AWS. So, but you will get around this 4000 IP. Okay. But this case, I will use /24. Again, this is according to your number of application that you want to launch, and you might need to also check with your network guy if they already allocate IP CIDR for your application, for your department. Yeah, your network guy might manage all these IP allocation, so that it's not overlapping between VPC and between other CIDR, IP CIDR. Okay, so if we see here, the first IP is this and the last IP is this. It is actually a subset of the IP for the VPC. Okay, so we should be fine using this CIDR block, and then we can add another subnet. So I will create the second subnet. This is public subnet A. I will create public subnet B, and the availability zone is in AP Southeast 1B. Okay, and then the CIDR block, I will use number 2. Okay, and let's create the private subnet. So we will create 4 subnet. Private subnet A, the availability zone is A, and then for the CIDR block, I will use 10 say .21, sorry, 10.11 dot say 6, let's say, or 3 also can actually, never mind, /24. So you can also put gap between the subnet. Let's say if you in the future you want to add some more for your public CIDR that is on your arrangement. So I will just use 3 for this case, and then add another subnet, say public subnet B, sorry, private subnet B. And we will put in AP Southeast 1B. Okay, the CIDR block is .4, and then create the subnet. Okay, so we just created our subnet, and it is across 2 availability zone. Okay, so this part is already done. We just created 4 subnets. And then next is the internet gateway. Internet gateway allow our instance in the VPC to connect to the internet. So because by default VPC is private and cannot connect to the internet, and by connecting the VPC to internet gateway, the instance inside the VPC can get the internet access. Internet gateway need to be attached to the VPC. So we will create this internet gateway that attached to the VPC to connect to the internet. Let's go back to our AWS console and then go to internet gateway, and we will create internet gateway here. Say my IGW, my internet gateway, then create. That's all, pretty simple, and we can attach this to VPC, so to our custom VPG that we created. Okay, the internet gateway is created, pretty simple. And then next is Net Gateway. Net Gateway is AWS managed resource. There is the unmanaged one, which is Net Instance. It is actually from EC2, but you need to set up as Net, the function as a Net, network address translation. But I recommend to use Net Gateway. It is much simpler and a better approach, and it's also recommended by AWS to use Net Gateway. And Net Gateway need to be launched in public subnet, and Net Gateway allow the EC2 instance in private subnet to connect to the internet. So how our instance in private subnet can get the internet is not directly to the internet gateway, but through the Net Gateway. We also need to allocate Elastic IP to Net Gateway. Okay, so let's create this Net Gateway that we launch in a public subnet. By the way, I will just create one Net Gateway in one public subnet. Earlier, I create two availability zone just to show that we can actually have high availability by creating multiple availability zone. But just to make this tutorial simple, I'll just use one zone. Okay, I will create the Net Gateway in public subnet for the availability zone 1A. Okay, let's go to Net Gateway and create Net Gateway. Okay, the name, put my Net Gateway. The subnet, I will select the public subnet A. Okay, and then allocate the Elastic IP. So this Elastic IP won't change if we allocate, because it is like a reserve IP, unlike your IP for EC2 instance. When you stop, right, and you start, the IP is actually changing. So but for this Elastic IP, it will keep consistent, and we reserve this IP. This IP won't change. Okay, and create the Net Gateway. Okay, I think this one might take some time. Okay, so we can just leave it for now. It is creating. Okay, we can go to the next item that we want to create. Next is route table. So the subnet that we have created need to be associated with the route table. So route table is like a director that direct your traffic, routing your traffic. The public route table route all the IP to the internet gateway, and the private route table, which is associated to the private subnet, route the all IP to not gateway. So we will attach the route table associated with the subnet. Let's go to our AWS account again and go to the route table. Okay, we will create the route table. First, we will create public route table for this VPC. Okay, and then create. And for this public route table, we will associate the public subnet. So we can go to subnet association and then edit and assign or associate this to public subnet. Okay, and then for the route, we can edit and then add the route. So we will route all IP, route to the internet gateway, because this one is the public, and then save. Okay, we just done for our public route table, and we will create another one for private route table. The VPC is our VPC here, and create route table. Okay, and we can associate again our subnet here. So we associate the private subnet, and then edit the route. So we will route all IP to NAT gateway. Okay, so our route table has been created. Next is the last one is the bastion. So we will create later our instance, our server, whatever server that you want to create is always safe to launch that in the private subnet. But then how can you connect to your private instance in your private subnet is actually through the bastion. So bastion is created to SSH to our EC2 instance in private subnet, and we launch this bastion in public subnet. We can also set later the source for security group for the private instance. We can put the source as the bastion security group. Okay, so this is the one that we will create. We will put the bastion in the public subnet, and our EC2 instance that will host our server in the private subnet. Okay, let's go to the EC2. So bastion is actually from EC2 instance. It's like a jump server. So we connect to bastion, and bastion connect to the private instance. Okay, let's launch the instance. Okay, by the way, if for our public, before that, we might need to edit first our subnet. So this subnet that we just create, we have two subnet, right? Two type of subnet, public and private. For private, it is okay to not auto assign IP public IPv4 address because it's private. So any instance that launch in the private subnet will not get the public IP. But for public subnet, we might need to edit the modify auto assign IP setting, and we need to enable the auto assign public IPv4 address. Okay, so later when the EC2 instance launch in this subnet, the instance will get the public IP. Okay, now go back to our EC2. Now let's create our EC2. Okay, so first let's create our bastion. We will use MI Linux 2 and then T2 Micro because we have free tier. Okay, on the network I will put in our VPC that we just created, and I will put in the public subnet A, and then the subnet setting for auto assign public IP is already enabled. We just enable it, so this instance will get the public IP. Okay, and then next, storage I will use default value, and then the text I just leave it blank, and we will create new security group allowing all IP to access port 22. Okay, and then launch. I have previous key pair, so I will use my existing key pair. If you don't have one, you can create new key pair. Okay, and then launch instance. Okay, our instance is being created. So let's create our application server that we will launch in private subnet. Okay, I will again use MI Linux 2, and then the instance type T2 Micro. Okay, on the VPC, same is we will create in the VPC that we just created, but the subnet I will choose private subnet A. So this instance is in the private subnet, and if you see here, the auto assign public IP, it's disabled, means this instance will not get public IP, only have private IP. Okay, the storage the same. Okay, on the security group, we will enable from the security group of the Bastion. So let's search here. The security group for Bastion is this one, Launch Wizard 1. I don't have any security group before, so this is the Bastion is the security group 1, and this is launch from Launch Wizard 2. So this is the security group for the Bastion that we just created earlier. Okay, and then we can launch and also use the same key pair. So I have my existing key pair and launch. Okay, so let's remove the filter so we can see both instances. Okay, so this one, the one that already running, is the one that got public IP is our Bastion. Let's name it Bastion. Okay, and the second one, the one that we launch in the private subnet, is our application server. It's depend on your needs, what server that you need to create, but basically it's app server. Okay, so let's refresh. It's still initializing. So if you see here, the private IP that we get for this instance, for the Bastion, is 10.11.1.1.0.2. This is actually from the, based on the subnet, the public subnet A. It is 1, right? 10.11.1. And if we see the app server, the one that we launched in the private subnet, is starting with 3. So this IP is from the private subnet A CIDR. Okay, so how we connect to our app server, because this app server doesn't have any public IP, so the public IP is blank here, empty, and we can't connect directly to this app server. So for us, in order to be able to connect to this app server, we need to connect through the Bastion. So how is the way to connect to this app server through Bastion? I will show you. First, we need to copy first the public IP. By the way, this one, the app server still initializing the status check. Okay, now status check is already passed, means we can SSH already. So first, copy the public IP for the Bastion, and we can connect through PuTTY. Put the IP here, and then I will name this session as AWS Bastion, and then save first. Okay, so it is being saved, and then go to SSH out and put your key pair here. So I'm using the YouTube key pair earlier, and then don't forget to tick this one. So this is to forward the key pair to the private instance. Yeah, we need to tick this, allow agent forwarding. Okay, and then save again. One more thing, we need to also add our key pair to Pageant. So Pageant is normally installed when we install PuTTY. So you can try search first Pageant, and it's already there for me. and you can also find here, so you can add the key into Pageant. Okay, and then you can just close it. It is still running here. But if you don't have Pageant, you can download from here. You can find the Pageant, and I will put also this link in the description later so you can find it. Okay, after adding the key to the Pageant, now we can try login to our Bastion. Okay, use EC2 user, and then we can SSH. The username is also EC2 user, add, and we put our private IP for our app server. Okay, copy the private IP, put here, and connect. So now if you see, we already in our app server. This IP 10.11.358 is the one that we connected earlier, we SSH earlier. Okay, so we are already in our app server. So that's how we can connect to our private server, and I have explained also all the services for AWS networking. If you need to build your VPC and all this setup, I don't really recommend you to create it manually like how I did, clicking from the management console and so on, but I recommend you to use CloudFormation script. So you can find the CloudFormation script in AWS Lab, and this account is created by AWS itself in GitHub, and you can find here AWS CloudFormation template. I will also put this in the description, this link. You can find in AWS folder, and then you can look for the services, and then VPC. You can choose this one, VPC with managed net and private subnet. So if you see the script, this script is actually will create the VPC with decider, and then two public subnet and two private subnet. This is the decider for the mapping, and then yeah, this is actually the one that will create the VPC, public subnet, and then yeah, private subnet, and then internet gateway, gateway to the internet. This one is actually attachment to the VPC, attaching the internet gateway to the VPC, and then route table, and so on. Everything will be created for you by just running this script, and you can also adjust the script according to your needs. If you don't really know how to run this script at the moment, you can also check my previous video that explain about CloudFormation. So if we are using this script, we can just launch the script. When we want to delete our stack, we can also just delete from CloudFormation, and we can clean everything by deleting the CloudFormation stack. If we create manually the resources in AWS, we also need to delete one by one later. Okay, that's all the video about AWS networking services. Hopefully this is useful for you, and if you are helped by this video, you can like this video and also subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. God bless you.